Hi, welcome back to Soul Food Ministries and Outreach. I'm Henriette Hobson. Thank you for tuning in and welcome to the focus of this channel, which is Jesus himself. And no more Jim Crow. We're not going back as Black Americans. We will not accept slavery, Jim Crow, or any unequal treatment. It is not acceptable. We're not dealing with it. We're not gonna accept it, not gonna allow it to happen. Um So, without having a long introduction, everybody's welcome. There's no hate here, no prejudice. Everybody is welcome here. Everyone is loved here because Jesus is here. He's the Lord of my life and He's the Lord of what I do, including these videos in this channel. So, what I want to do, I want to get in here and get out. There's a lot of on TikTok and all that. I'm not on TikTok, whatever. But they're all everywhere talking about other ethnic groups saying how black people are not standing up for Latinos or Mexicans or whoever. We did. We protected you and took care of you when we told you don't vote for him. But no, you all played your little music and ran around in your little Trump hats and was laughing in our faces and saying, all this and how you were, and you went out and voted for him anyway. What our support was informing you and providing someone that would treat you better. You didn't want her. Now they can call her. I've heard them say it's terrible what people say, just for a like, or you just messed up in your heart. I have heard them say the most horrible things about Michelle Obama and about Kamala. Unbelievable. Her own people. It's unbelievable. You can't even mistakenly say something and then they take it and run off with it and turn it into it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Downright lying. We tried to tell you. That's what allies and friends do. People that care. They keep you from jumping off or walking off of a cliff to your death or to your detriment. And we shared, and this is in spite of the fact that we were hated by every other ethnic group anyway. Everybody that comes into this country wants to stand on the white side and then try to treat us like racist white people treat us. Now, they're not all white people are not racist, and they don't act or think that way. And that's just a fact. I never lump any group, every person in the group, because there's always one. God's always got a remnant. There were Quakers, white Quaker religion. Religion was Quaker. And non-Quakers. Just people that knew right from wrong, people that loved God, people that didn't love God but knew right from wrong, and they weren't comfortable with what was going on. They were abolitionists. They were part of the Friend of a Friend. They were part of the Underground Railroad, housing, feeding, transporting, risking their lives to see to it that we got through. Brings tears to my eyes, makes me emotional, even when I talk about it now. So when we say white folks or whatever, it doesn't mean every, because I'm telling you, through all of this with, the other ethnic groups and what have you, coming against us and saying all kinds of horrible things because we won't get out there and lay our bodies down on the ground and be beat in place of them is basically what would happen. Um, white people have stood up and said, some of them have stood up and said a lot of things I can't repeat. And standing up for black people, and basically you did that to yourself. Now, because of wanting to see black people back in the fields on white farmers' land, harvesting their crops and planting their crops and maintaining their crops, and at their beck and for a little change with your massa. No. And this is what they had in their mind because they lived in a fantasy world where they wanted to see Gone with the Wind happen once again. By the way, I always loved the movie until I learned about it. And it's not that I thought it was a well done movie, in the scenery. Okay, the horror of it about slavery was terrible. But anyway, but it did have, I have to say, it had some good points about, the Union fighting for black people to get them, get them out, burning plantations. And, war is an ugly thing no matter what. In Jesus' name, I pray for peace around the world. So it's just to say we did our part. When you were hating us and looking down upon us because our skin was browner than yours or hair not as straight or whatever reasons that you use to be racist, against us and unfortunately even against your own if they were darker than you. It's what was set up through Satan through white supremacist people. Don't, just stop all this. Don't expect us to come out there. That's exactly what they want us to do. Come out there so that they can, start snatching us up and taking us and putting us in jail. Oops, well, they just kind of accidentally got, no, This is not our business any longer. We stepped in to help you prevent this whole mess. But you refuse. And you know what? Once people start refusing you, there is a place in the Bible that says about how when people, you trying to work with people and get them to see, and they just won't. I mean, I'm talking, you just have to give them over to Satan. It's like just, their flesh, so that their soul will be saved. The thing is, it's not like you don't have anywhere to go. You have a country that is named after you. We were taken from ours hundreds of years ago. You still have a place that you are proud of, that you are calling your own. But yet, you want to come over here to our country, which America has been foolish enough, I say foolish, because they've opened that door up to everything and anything. All kinds of demon gods and everything. Yes, you're supposed to be kind to those and help people and, be a good Samaritan and all that. But it's not like you don't have a country that belongs to you. Someplace that you actually are so proud of that when you get over here, You set up a fortress so strong in certain neighborhoods, they call it and name it after you. You bring your everything. You don't let go of your country, and you continue to go back and support it, and the people that are there that you know. You speak the language and you don't want to let it go. They took our language. We couldn't wait. They stripped us of everything. They didn't pay us one dime. Our ancestors got paid nothing. You're getting paid, setting up your own businesses, doing well. You have your own food culture, everything, and everybody loves it. But yet you wanted to hate on black people so that you could, have somebody to look down on. And black people are always embracing folks from wherever, no matter what you look like. But when it comes down to us needing you, it shows with you on camera talking about us. It shows even more so a selfishness that is so evil. Oh my God. When we told you to begin with, matter of fact, we didn't just tell you. It wasn't just something that came out of us that, you don't respect us, okay, fine. The man told you himself what he was going to do. He proved himself many, many times before his first term and then the insurrection. Then he, in his campaign, told you what he was going to do. Now, I personally have had with workers that have come on my property to work and done things that stole and all kind of things. But I don't hate all Mexicans just because of some idiots. That's not the love of God. And so why are you thinking that what you're doing is you're taking up a white supremacist mindset of, well, in other words, what's wrong with black people? They're not standing up for us. Why would we do that? Why would we put ourselves and our children in harm's way when we told you to start with, don't do this? You laughed in our faces and you told us, in other words, screw you, you stupid, whatever, we're going to do what we want to do. And we are better than you, basically is what you're saying. And we're going to vote for this man because whatever your reasonings were. And that goes for white people too, that are upset because we won't come work on their phones. Why would we? You can't even treat us right in the freaking grocery store. I'm just saying. You don't want us around you. You don't want us eating in your restaurants. Why would we come and work for you? Whether we needed a job or not, there's just some things you don't do. Walking into danger. We have been tricked, deceived, hoodwinked, bamboozled all through our journey here in America. While we were making white people rich, inventing, and they take the patents and make the money. All of this. So many inventions is what made this country rolling smooth like it is, or has been. Just let it go. You got yourself in this mess. Hold yourself accountable. Go to Jesus and get the strength and faith you need to work through this. What do you want us to do anyway? We're still fighting our own battles. Battles that you wouldn't help us fight for ourselves. All of a sudden you want to be brothers. I know a person that does it. I don't receive her calls even anymore. When she wants something, she'll come calling me talking about us people of color. Get out of here with that. Us people of color. Oh my goodness. There was a time I fell for that mess, but I know better now. I don't even answer the call. Don't call me. Trying to bully me and trying to con me. Ain't gonna happen. It just ain't gonna happen. No, people try to play on your love of God. Don't let them do it. So anyway, we want unity. We want to get along. We wish all this stuff was not even going on. If God tells me to do something for someone, I do it. I'm not just going to do it anymore like I used to. I used to just no. He has to instruct me that this is what he wants me to do. Because I realize people do not appreciate you. But when the Lord tells you to do something, then you know that he's got your back. He's going to reward you. And you're working for the kingdom for sure. I mean, you're doing it for the kingdom when you do it out of the love of your heart that Jesus has put in there. But you know what I mean? So, people are so selfish. It's unbelievable, the selfishness. The selfishness. I can't even begin. And then there were Native Americans even jumping in talking about what the man because Beyonce had on a shirt about the Buffalo Soldiers. Seriously? Y'all got the nerve. You won't stand up to your real oppressors, but you want to come after us because she wears a t-shirt that's telling some facts. When you could have stood up, first of all, Native Americans enslaved us too. Then when it came time for reparations of any type for them, they decided that they kicked us out and we weren't worthy of any of what they were getting. Even after they enslaved us and raped us and did the same things that whites did to us. And anybody else that thought that had the upper hand, because if you were not black, then you were considered pretty much white and you could buy a slave if you had the money. You interbreeded with us. So how, and then they just completely changed the rules. And I never heard of this one. Your DNA doesn't even count if it shows up even in your DNA that you are of their tribe. That's you talking ruthless and evil. So they got money, opened up a bunch of casinos and different stuff, threw blacks out, would not even connect them at all, no matter what. And the nerve to have something to say about a t-shirt that expressed some facts and that we're proud of our Buffalo Soldiers. Yep, they had to do what they had to do because you all were enslaving us and murdering us right along with whoever else. There were some that were embracing us and helping, but there were also many that murdered us and raped us and did all the horrible things to us too. And then in modern day time, abandoning us. When it came down to, so don't try that. That doesn't work. You're not doing it by making things look worse for you. And without us, black people, there are no Native Americans. There are no anybody, no matter how white looking you are. The original man was black, and everything comes out of black. You might not like it, but that's just the way it is. And you're not going to change it. I don't care how you breed to this and that and the Hitler effect of the, nope. Aryan race, nothing. You end up breeding in deformities and all kinds of stuff. You need to just stop. Just stop. Pretty much black people be trying to get along with everybody, mind our own business. If there's any rudeness or whatever that's going on, it's because people push to the brink with the lies, and the injustice. Going on internet and doing all this horrible is not making things any better. It's not bringing any peace and unity. It's God help us all. See you next time.